So let's just go over issues a little bit. Oliver, I put something in the group. So yesterday, there's a journalist actually who works in that side of the world, in that region, called Colin Miller. He was the very first person who put out a tweet indicating that Christian Atsu had been found. Guys, if you can put the tweet on screen. So he said, or he indicated, first of all, Roland, that Christian Atsu had been found, and that he had breathing difficulties, and he also had an injury to his right foot. It brought relief to many people. I mean, not just people in the football world, but just to know that a relative of yours or a loved one of yours could actually be stuck in the rubble was devastating for a lot of people. So when that news came in, it was relief to many of us. And I stayed up because I was really worried. I haven't been okay. I mean, he's not my brother or sister, but he's Ghanaian and he's a footballer. So he's of concern to all of us. And mind you, he's not the only Ghanaian who is also stuck under the rubble. Later on the show, maybe we need to get to the Turkish consulate or something to be able to know the situation with all the Ghanaians who unfortunately may have been stuck under the rubble or probably even lost their lives and all. So I stayed up to watch Ghana tonight. And then Sadiq Adams, a.k.a. Obama, Sports Obama, he is in Morocco for Club World Cup. So Alfred Okanse was speaking to him, and he indicated that he was in touch with Christian Atsu's manager, who also had information at the time that he had been found. And that he was admitted to the hospital amidst breathing issues, injury to his right foot, and all that. So it still gave all of us some hope. But we are waking up now, and there are conflicting reports indicating that he actually hasn't been found. He cannot even be accounted for. Himself and then the manager he was with at the time that the earthquake occurred. And I'm just thinking, it's getting to like 16 hours, 18 hours after this earthquake, almost 24 hours. And in these times, I don't want to be a prophetess of doom, but we are just praying for a miracle that even if he's still stuck there, he's okay. So that's the tweet from Sadiq yesterday. I chanced on this a few moments ago, but it was tweeted 9 hours ago. And it said, I'm still in contact with Christian Atsu's management. A teammate of Atsu has confirmed to them the player has been found and taken to the hospital. They expect an official statement from his club soon. So this was what came in 9 hours ago from Sadiq Adams's official Twitter page. And he was on Ghana Tonight, also speaking to Alfred Okanse. So the waking up and realizing that no, this may not be true, it's not making me comfortable at all. It's not making me comfortable at all. Now, new numbers are coming in for or about this earthquake. Now we are told, Roland, that about 4,300 people unfortunately have passed on already. And these are people who have been found dead. The numbers definitely would go up because many more people are stuck under the rubble. But just in case you don't know the magnitude of this earthquake or the history behind it, I mean, this hasn't happened in the last 100 years in the history of Turkey and North Syria. In the last 100 years, this hasn't happened. Magnitude has been measured at 7.8. That's how heavy this earthquake has struck. And you think about it and you just realize, like what Roland, you said, this life is really not ours.
It's fleeting.
Very, very fleeting. This life isn't ours. Judith, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's not worry.
Yeah, I will not bore you with too much.
You've been grieving over the last 12 hours.
This is very devastating.
Very devastating.
And I don't think anybody in the world even thought that there would come a day like this where we'll hear such bad news. And I don't know. Yesterday, there was a journalist, a Nigerian journalist, or was it a state? No, it was a politician, who fortunately escaped with his family, and they were taking refuge in his car. Can you imagine? And I'm just thinking, even the ground on which the car was sitting could even just open for them to just get lost into the ground.
Yeah.
So the question is, where is safe? Well, the earthquake has stopped right now. We don't even know if it will reoccur, because in these instances, it can reoccur again. I mean, it's a natural disaster, so you're not sure what would happen. But kudos to the rescue team and the mission in Turkey. I think they are doing the best that they can. I mean, look at what's on your screen. If you're stuck in this car or under this this type of devastation, I don't know how you can be rescued. We can only pray and hope that some miracle of a sort happens, that if you are still alive by this time, you can be rescued. But Roland, just imagine if this ever occurred in Ghana.
We'll all be finished, because we have no plan as far as I have realized in my journalism career, as well as in my normal adult life, that we've ever prepared well. And I remember when the Malcolm disaster did happen.
I remember that as well.
We were there on ground. We were doing live coverage. It had to take the Israeli embassy right here to send an SOS through the government of Ghana, of course, to their military, who quickly brought in sniffer dogs to come and sniff black people, who are Ghanaians, of course, under the rubble.
We didn't have sniffer dogs here in Ghana to help?
For where? Which one?
Oh, but I thought there was some at the airport who are able to detect people carrying drugs and all.
Don't do this.
No, I thought we had them in Ghana.
Yeah, well, we have dogs. We have dogs around that we
You mean stray dogs?
Well, no, you know, there are specific dogs that
That's
are
what I'm saying. Don't we have them in this country?
To sniff people, to sniff scent, to sniff items, etc.
But we should have them.
And it had to take the Israeli Air Force to quickly come in with their jets, with their sniffer dogs, to come and help us do rescue here in Accra. And we're talking just down Tesano,
Achimota.
that lane, you know. And so it speaks to the bigger volumes about how, while we're commiserating with the people of Turkey, we also have to put the matters into perspective. Now, Turkey has become a hub for us. We have many of our ladies and gentlemen who go there for medical treatment, liposuctions, etc. We have trade and commerce who go, so we have traders, importers who go to Turkey to now go and bring in things or stuff or clothing or items into the Ghanaian market. Indeed, there are many security metallic doors we have currently, and we'll tell you these are the Chinese ones, these are the Thai ones, these are the Turkish ones, and we're told that the ones that are good in the market currently are the ones from Turkey. And so while we're talking about Christian Atsu and perhaps a number of Ghanaians, there could be more Ghanaians who could be lost in this rubble than we think. That also means that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs needs to make sure it has a tap in terms of sending out what the signals should be for would-be Ghanaian travelers. In terms of you traveling into a country, getting to know who is traveling to that country, which office or outfit you need to report to, so that when disasters like these do happen, we're in a position to know that these number of Ghanaians who made entry into Turkey are staying here and here. Now, we will have to go and consult Turkish officials and offices, and they are not in a state to tell us even their own citizens where they are.
Let alone Ghanaian citizens.
Exactly. Because we shouldn't kid ourselves. A number of our traders who could be members of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, ordinary citizens who just fly from Kumasi or Accra Central to Turkey to go and bring in goods, could also be lost in this disaster.
100%.
It speaks volumes about how we keep tabs on citizens, what we need to do as a country, how we need to be disaster prepared. Look, Turkey, mindful of the area in which they are, decided to put in a plan for the architectural designs of their buildings. But even look at a plan that is in place. And Turkey is a developed country. It's
Very
part of
developed.
the, you know, and you look at the magnitude of this earthquake, then you have to ask the question, if this should ever happen to us, what would we do?
Because
Common annual floods.
Yes, yes.
If it rains in Accra for 1 hour.
Yeah, we see what happens annually. We see what happens annually, and we are talking about a country that has most buildings lacking structural integrity. So just imagine if this happens in the Tudu area, in the Okaishi area, in the Kaneshi area.
Exactly.
Like, just imagine if this happens in, especially in those areas. You can just imagine what would happen.
And, you know, seeing the shots on the BBC and the rest of the world, you could see the reporting was done through citizens' cameras, their phones, etc., for the better part of the day.
Right.
And so I kept asking myself, and it also brought a lot of memories when we were reporting in that Melcombe disaster so many years ago, how we were just stuck and didn't know what to do.
You were just helpless at the moment.
We were now calling for cranes, which were unavailable. We had to call some from the Tama Harbour. We need to go. And so we need to see this as an SOS call for us to be ready for disasters.
No, we
Common
need to be
natural disasters, like the ones that
ready.
We expect every year, we're not ready for. Look at what is happening in Mboko. And we have nobody within the realms of the top hierarchy of government that is making bold statement or going in there to go and plead with the citizens. Are you saying that if we have the president of our republic, the vice president, leading a team to go to Boku, go meet feuding factions, the cameras are there, it sends signals to the people that, look, the country is behind you. We want you to make sure that you keep a calm head, you cool your nerves, and make sure peace returns to a town that needs to thrive. Because people have businesses, etc. We're here reporting consistently on Turkey, but we have minute Turkey or earthquakes happening in our country, literally in a way.
We even have a piety. 1 year on, what has happened?
The buildings we haven't
celebrated.
Put them. Do you understand?
We had a remembrance.
So when we sit here and we talk, it's not because that maybe perhaps we're just talking for talking's sake. We're talking, putting ourselves in the shoes of the text and asking ourselves key questions. 31 million people. 32 million people growing at an annual percentage of 2.1%, based on statistics from the Statistical Service. If these things should happen, and Apieti happened, look how we're scrambling. We're scrambling all over. Scrambling all over. We're clutching at straws.
1 year on,
and
it's
Boku
only 20
is there.
people.
Boku is there. We're leaving it to NGOs and key citizens and ordinary ministers and things who have
Christian Council and all
everybody. Nobody wants to have a grip. And people of Boku, a town that should be thriving on trade and commerce, people's lives need to be going on daily. Education needs to go on. Teachers need to be safe. Hospitals need to be safe. That's a mini earthquake there. If we have to literally equate it to what is happening. We're focusing all on Turkey. But we need to have our governments also take seriously concerns about citizens and then issues that affect them. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter which part of the country they are. That sense of entitlement and commitment from the state, led by our leaders, the president, the vice president, etc., trooping into a town that has a disaster because people feuding, shooting at each other, having or being at loggerheads and intermittently having fractious movement should be a concern for everybody. You understand? So now we have Ghanaians that we can account for. It's not only Christian Atsu. Because we know that we import more. We import from Turkey. When our traders are going there, they don't come and tell Ama Kofi in the minister's office that, Charlie, I'm going there. Do we even keep tabs where they are located, where they are seated, where they sleep in Turkey? No. So yesterday I was just there thinking. I have a friend, he usually goes to Turkey, so I called him. And he said, oh, Charlie, he lives around East Legon, in Passam area. I said, Charlie, I did here. You know, I don't go for goose yet.
It could have been him. It could have been him.
He's been trying to call his supplier, and
it's not going through. So you know there's a problem.
If he had taken or boarded a plane and gone to Turkey, it means that you never know. So that is why we need to do the needful to ourselves. While we commiserate with the text, it also brings us to reality that we need to do things that makes us self-aware, that we're ready for everything or anything that could come up. But so far, look at how we're struggling with the debt. Look at how we respond to individual bondholders who raise questions about how perhaps they are being treated in terms of what we are putting to the table for them to take or not. You know, and these are the things that we need to be conscious about.
100%.
I mean, look at Turkey. Look at the pictures, horrid pictures. And everybody is at a loss. For us, small rain, 30 minutes in Accra, you see that, Charlie, we'll just go and cover every year. This year we'll go and cover. We're in what?
June,
February.
July,
June, July.
May, June, July.
March, April, no, we will go there. Roland will be in the water. Cookie will be here. So what is happening? Is the same thing every year.
Same.
This one, and this rain is not a natural disaster. It's something that we know.
Annually.
Basic architectural design will show us that if we have proper plans, drains, etc., we can have it. We will never do.
We are still sitting
Look
here.
At the Auditor General's report.
We are not clearing
Auditor General's report. Amount of money that we spend on COVID. Auditor General. Yet we say we don't have money to... Make I put on my spectacle.
Put it on.